Hey there, welcome to ITV. I am Varsha Nair. Today on ITV, we continue with the interview of India's well-known legal personality, Ram Jethmalani. The interview was recorded at Mr. Jethmalani's home in New Delhi in December, when Raj Dave of India-US World Affairs Institute and Subhash Vijlani of University of Maryland University College chatted with him.
Then I did a lot of cases. Then came the famous Nanavati
case.
Nanavati.
Tell us something about the Nanavati case.
Well, you know, Nanavati was a ladies' man. Mm-hmm. The evidence at the trial disclosed that he was carrying on not only with that girl Sylvia, who was Commander Nanavati's wife. He was a naval guy. But at the same time, he was carrying on with the Air Force man as well as the army man. And Sylvia was a fantastic beauty. I met her, and I don't blame her for falling for Prem, because Prem was also a great socialite, rich man, and a great personality, and he was a great dancer. Oh. That made it fatal. Uh-huh. So Nanavati went to his office in the Navy, got the revolver issued that morning on the false pretext that I'm going for shooting birds, but he wanted to shoot this fellow. Uh-huh. So he went to his apartment, got into his bathroom where the poor fellow was having a shower with his only a towel on, and he shot him at point blank range in the bathroom. Okay. Walked out, told the chowkidar of the building that I have done this. Then he went to Commissioner Lobo, who was his friend, and told him that, yes, I have done this. Ultimately, you know, you'll be surprised that when the matter ended up in the Supreme Court here, Justice Subbarao was sitting on the bench. Subbarao said that Nanavati was an honest man until he met his lawyers. Well, that's the part. But then the trial went on. It was a jury trial.
Yep.
And I was engaged by the sister of the deceased fellow, that Prem. In those days, a lawyer appearing for a private party had only the right to instruct and assist the public prosecutor. The public prosecutor, may his soul rest in peace, he was a very dumb guy, you know, he hardly knew how to prosecute a case. Chandu Trivedi. I had conferences with him. I had even told him what opening speech to make. To my surprise, on the opening day, he made a speech which was totally contrary to what we had agreed. And obviously, he had been won over by the political influence of Nanavati. Nanavati's great friend was Krishna Menon, defense minister, and Dr. Baliga, the communist leader of the doctors in the medical profession. And of course, he too was a very, very handsome young man, a naval officer. And the Parsi community was behind him. You should have seen those Parsi girls used to write on the piece of paper with their lipsticks and send their messages to the jurors. That's what used to happen. And the evidence disclosed that they had bought the jurors. They returned a verdict of not guilty, 8-1.
8-1.
But that on the evidence, the decision was so perverse that the judge disagreed with the verdict, and under the Criminal Procedure Code, he had to refer it to the High Court. But the matter came to the High Court of Bombay, and there the government was represented by Mr. Chandrachud, who later became the Chief Justice. And that is how my friendship with Chandrachud started. Chandrachud and I were absolutely personal family friends. And in my conferences, I told Chandrachud. Chandrachud said, but how do we prove that the verdict of the jury is perverse? I say, well, you can always prove it on the evidence itself. The evidence is so overwhelming. There's no reasonable explanation. But I will tell you something, and this is my contribution to the Nanavati trial,
Sure.
Nanavati appeal. I told him that the rule of perversity of the verdict applies provided the jury has been properly instructed.
I see. Okay.
And I told him that there are 8 points of misdirection in this judge's charge to the jury. And then the test of perversity has no application. Then you must test it to the ordinaries.
Sure.
And this argument succeeded. Chandrachud argued, but everybody knew that I and Chandrachud were sort of. I have made my reputation as a great criminal lawyer only in that Nanavati trial because it had received so much publicity.
Absolutely.
Earlier, of course, I have done many cases. I have never looked back. So Nanavati was sentenced to life imprisonment by the High Court. He appealed to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court appeal was dismissed. They upheld that there were misdirections in the charge and the test of perversity didn't apply. And as I told you what Subbarao said about him, that he was an honest man until he met his lawyer. Because in the court he made a very stupid defense, unworthy of an officer of the Indian Navy. His defense was that why did you go there first of all, to kill him? He said, I went to settle the future of my children. I said, but why did you take the revolver? Oh, he says, I'm a Navy man, I do occasionally take the revolver, but why on a false pretext that you were going for a bird shooting which you never did? Anyway, he had no explanation. But still, the jury was also sympathetic to him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Though, of course, there is no doubt about on the circumstantial evidence. Now, I must tell you another great story connected with this trial.
Sure.
After the Supreme Court verdict, one day, his lawyer, you know Rajni Patel.
I have heard.
You heard of him?
Yes.
He was a great friend of Krishna Menon and the whole communist lobby and a very influential, great friend of Indira Gandhi. One evening, in my small apartment in Bombay, walked into my house unannounced, without any appointment. Who? Rajni Patel and Sylvia.
Wow.
He obviously brought her that Ram is vulnerable to this kind of
Attack.
So he brought Sylvia. So I said, tell me, what have you come, Rajni? Tell me, for God's sake, have a drink. So he said, Ram, I'll tell you. There are 2 Parsi secretaries in the government, Dalal and Paymaster. Both have agreed that they will pardon, governor will pardon Nanavati. But they want a letter from the Sindhi community that we have forgiven Nanavati and we have no objection if this is done.
Okay.
That's what we have come to you for. That's what they said. Now, I would never have succumbed to anything of that kind normally. But I had another motivation.
I see.
There was a Sindhi leader who was a great leader of the community and who wanted to build independent Sindh after the partition of India in that Kutch region, Kandla.
Kandla.
Do you know he was prosecuted for offense of disposing of some goods which had come on a license under the condition not to do that and all that number. Poor fellow, he was sentenced by the Sessions Court and given some sentence of 1 year. He appealed to the High Court. High Court not only sustained his conviction, but enhanced his sentence to 5 years.
Oh my God.
The matter ended in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court dismissed his appeal. But fortunately, he was also a very influential man. one of his daughters was married in the Achyut Patwardhan family.
Okay.
Achyut's son Balu. So they called for the record of the case. And do you know, this is what I have been arguing today, these days in the courts, the duty of a prosecutor. They found out that the prosecution had suppressed evidence, which if disclosed to the court would have immediately led to his acquittal.
I see.
So these two same secretaries had given an opinion that Bhai Pratap also requires to be pardoned. But being Parsis, they made a bargain. That you secure this letter from the Sindhi community. I did. And Bhai Pratap and Nanavati were pardoned on the same day by the same governor.
Wow. Excellent. Wonderful.
So that was my motivation. I didn't fall to the charms of Sylvia Bishore.
Very nice. So